And welcome to Platfontein here in the Northern Cape, and this is where our pre-election debate for the Northern Cape is coming from. And we are in Platfontein, which is just outside of Kimberley, about 15 kilometers or so outside Kimberley, which is of course in the Francis Baard district of the Salt Lake municipality, the capital city of this particular province. And very interesting listening to the parties before the break, and some of those statistics I said I would tell you. So in this particular province, only 20% of youth, those are people who are between the ages of 18 and 29. Only 20% of the registered voters in this province are actually youth. So serious indictment on the parties and their ability to get the youth to register for and make their voices heard in this upcoming election. And of course, there are 21 parties that will be contesting the elections in this province. And with regard to social grants, you have a population in this province of 1.2 million people. 479,000 of those are recipients of social grants. That's about 2%, just over 2% of the national population, and it is creeping up towards 50%. And I think that's putting it into perspective. Almost 50% of the population of this province are recipients of social grants. If that doesn't tell you how dire the situation is, there are very few things that will. But we're going to open this up to the floor now, to the people of the Northern Cape, of Platfontein, to talk to us about the issues that they want to address with the elected representatives and those that would be elected representatives. And I'm going to ask you quick question, short, sharp, to the point, and the panel, same applies to you. Sir, you're up. Your name and your question.
Hi, I'm Franco. My question is to the ANC. What are they going to do regarding the military veterans and the EFF? Why suddenly are they interested in our province, and that is the Northern Cape province, because suddenly they want a special economic zone in this area? Thank you.
Thank you so much. ANC, what are you going to do about the military veterans? And I think this goes to the 31 Battalion and all of those issues all rolled into one, but what are you going to do about it?
Well, the question on the military veterans, it's not specific. I don't understand what exactly it says, but what we know is that the Department of Military Veterans has got a program in place for military veterans in terms of looking at the socio-economic condition of the military veterans. There's a program currently in Salt Lake at the new housing development, where military veterans have got access to housing, where the children of military veterans have got access to bursaries, where the military veterans have got access to health insurance programs in terms of medical aid, and those are the programs that are in place. If there's any specific cases where the Platfontein people were involved in it, in one battalion are not involved, have not been taken on board, I think that is a matter that can be addressed, and they can actually be assisted in terms of accessing the passcode of services that are available for military veterans.
Is there a backlog, or have you addressed all of the issues and the people who were on the list with regard to military veterans?
I didn't get a question.
I'm asking, obviously there's a list of people that would have registered for these services as military veterans. Do you know whether that has been addressed in its entirety, or is there still a backlog of people that still need services?
Like I have indicated, there are programs that are there. So military veterans currently have received houses. Military veterans, children do get access to bursaries.
Yes, Mr. Shushu, but I'm asking you whether there's a backlog. I'm asking you whether there are cases that still need to be addressed.
Yeah, that is exactly the point that I'm raising. If there are cases that have not been addressed, they need to bring that to the attention of the Department of Military Veterans. We can assist them. They can come to us. They can go to an ANC branch here. They can go to the councillor. The ANC councillor in this ward can actually can assist them to access those services.
All right, I'm going to leave it there. I know you seemingly not as satisfied with the answer, but I'm going to leave it. EFF, why are you suddenly interested in what is happening here, and what is your specific interest in an economic zone?
Yeah, as the EFF in the Northern Cape, we are looking at to correct the the past injustices that has been done to our people, especially the forceful removals, like the victims of the Platfontein people who have been removed in their area, which is rich with minerals. And also we are focusing on the issue of beneficiation of which it should benefit the people, especially the people who are living in the area close to the mines, who are now, when you look at Kumba, you look at the informal settlement close to it is very poor. Look at the Kimberley, now the De Beers have taken the diamonds. What do you see here in Kimberley? The roads are not in good conditions, the people are still unemployed, and that affects our community. Also, when you look at the Northern Cape, it's a very large province which has the land, but the land is not within the rightful owners. Our people are congested in our townships, our communities. The people don't have the land. Like the issue here in Kimberley, in Ward 12, where the people, they took the sports field because they show to the municipality, they show to the government that we don't have the place to stay. Give us the place. It has been a long time. People have been registered to get the F numbers. They've been given the F numbers, but nothing yet is done.
Okay, that's why the EFF is here. Sir, please ask your question.
Forge makang makwe manchwe ki kahe masing ganu het kwa
voor hy praat sê hy is gelukkig en bly dat hy sien al die partye is vandag hierso.
Tamiti sake matisa hola wise masa tankwi kawa frikisanga ngwachi gbechi kwa kwa gmetia Platfontein.
Hy vra die vraag, hy stel die vraag dat altyd as hy sien die verkiesing is naby, dan kom klomp partye na Platfontein toe.
So while the audience cheers, the gentleman saying that he's glad everybody's here, and also that he has noticed that it's usually in the run-up to an election that these parties actually come out to places like Platfontein.
Kaya ka masing yikwas ya gmechi ta cha simiran ju chicken gem ta na cha gem anda sa simiran ju chi yiki katinga yiki tuun ju ngai panda anda ya hayu koyo yang ngawang ju ngai panda fulori ke Platfontein.
Die partye kom altyd hier by Platfontein, dan konsmeer hulle die gemme by ons monde, dan gaan sit hulle na die verkiesing, dan kry ons altyd swaar hier op Platfontein.
Okay. So the gentleman says that just before the elections, people will come here and they will sweeten up the communities, and then they disappear after that.
Kaya kang Platfontein ituwa recht, ngan juga ambara bang ngo wa kawa hoki, kakwa ngawa standard, ngata kawa ngawa hoki. Mi khayken nga min hagen nga tan cha ga kwartu nge kamwa chi jala kan ne mi khayga min ha cha ga kwartu nge
hier by Platfontein het ons nie 'n standaard huise nie. Ons bly in een kamer. My kind en my dogtertjie is volwassen, maar ons bly in een kamer.
So, what is the question? Is there a specific question that he wants to ask to anyone here?
Matatisa. Ta chimwige matanang wa chimbusu. Mchinga mati twa partai ha chita chiang tanga ko jwa panga chike ta nacha ka kuri tui panga ka. Ta kage chimbusu jwa mngaba jang aga kamwa chinjalang juga njwa chimtua alright ju kaya chida chakon ke chika ya ngaka ngupi tuwa ngwa chindole ta na chaka koli chikanka khwasa kula kami atisha kawa ya kang Platfontein achi mchima ya pangela Platfontein wa mitisha me last tisala kangia chi 3 ya tung kango me chi 3 me layer 3 tana tung okui tai ngai ke ngolo hi okui.
Hom vra sal ek later aanstel. Hy het gepraat oor die toilet issue. Hier by Platfontein het ons ja regte toilet nie. Nou, al die politieke partijen komen net en hulle beloven, hulle sal die toilette en die huise regmaak en daar is niet zoiets nie. Hulle komen net na die verkiezing, dan gaan hulle uit. En hulle sukkel baie, hulle eet met die ryk van die toilet en die standaard van die huise is nie reg nie. En ek wil maar net bysit. Hier by Platfontein kry ons baie swaar. Die politieke partijen komen net in na die verkiezing, dan is hulle nie hier nie. En ons sukkel hier so by 3 daar by die laste lijne, daar is die krag nie, daar is die faciliteite hier op Platfontein nie. Al kom ons, daar is net die leerbelofte op Platfontein. Dankie.
Okay, so essentially comments, but of course the comments are very important because it speaks to the socio-economic conditions here in Platfontein. And the question, and I suppose the issue being raised is that of the housing facilities and the fact that they are not up to scratch, and also that there's a sanitation issue with regard to the toilets and that have not been fixed as well. But again, the political parties being accused of only coming here for electioneering purposes, and after that you actually leave. And of course also the gentleman added there the question of electrification as well, which is quite an indictment because I don't know how many of you actually know that Kimberley is the second city in the whole world after Philadelphia in the United States of America that actually added electrification to its infrastructure. It was the first city, the first town in the southern hemisphere, and yet today in 2019 we're still talking about issues regarding electrification here in Kimberley. But I'm going to ask all of you, hold on to that it was a comment and I think a very important one, but hold on to that, and if you want to address it when we come to questions and answering them, you can actually factor that in. So please give us your question.
Thank you very much. I caught the flu last night, but I'll try to pose my question. I want to pose my question to the president of the Khoisan Revolution. The question was posed to him about the land, the returning of the land. President, are you referring to industrial land? Are you referring to agricultural land? Are you referring to residential plots? Please elaborate on that. And the second thing is, it seems that everybody is zooming in on Platfontein. And Platfontein is a hotspot now, more especially with regards to housing. What are you going to do to relieve the burden of these people, our people, the people of the Kung and the Kwe, in Platfontein, when you are being given a chance in the legislature? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Stanley Peter, sir, Khoisan Revolution. Your answer, please.
It's very simple questions. In this area where you're staying, the Griqua lease their land for 99 years to the then Boers. That lease was never cancelled. So it's a simple thing. We said the land claims cut-off date must not be 1913. It must be before that. This is the first answer. The second answer is, it's very simple. I see one of the claimants is standing in the row. Baron van Wyk is here. The people of Platfontein was part of the Smitsdrift claim. And that claim is now currently before Rural Development and Land Reform. I see the MEC is also here. We believe that we are claimants of Smitsdrift, yet we have been dumped here. And the people that's sitting now there in Smitsdrift are not the real owners. So it's easy. We want to move them back, or otherwise make them shareholders of that area. It's a simple thing. That's what I'm going to do. That's the first thing that I'm going to do.
Okay, Norman Shushu, maybe you want to respond to that, saying that the people at Smitsdrift are actually not the original owners.
No, I think it's not true. I think we must just give a brief background to the community of Platfontein. The community of Platfontein was a community that was enrolled in the former South African Defence Force. They are originally in the main from Angola and Namibia. The apartheid government dumped the community of Platfontein in Smitsdrift in tents. And the former president Mandela felt that the dignity of the people of Platfontein had to be restored. They are not the original claimants of Smithsdrift. They were then resettled here in Platfontein, where they were provided with housing, with electricity. A school was built for the community, a clinic was built for the community, and part of the program, and we are, as the ANC, we are working with our traditional communities to further improve on the services that we are providing in Platfontein, including further broadening access to electricity. There is electricity in Platfontein. That's why here you have got lights in this hall in Platfontein. There are houses in Platfontein. We will work with the community of Platfontein to improve the sanitation all over in the whole of Solplaatje. There's a program underway to ensure that the sewer provision of sanitation in the whole of Solplaatje is improved, including here in Platfontein.
Okay. All right,
Thank you.
Let's move on. And acknowledging ATM, I see ATM is also here in the crowd, and the Socialist Revolutionary Workers' Party, I see you as well. Your question, please,
Thank
sir.
you very much. My name is Daniel Trom. I'm representing African Transformation Movement. My question is directed to the ruling party. There is a decline in the matric rate in this community of Platfontein since 2012. It could be the issue of medium of instructions, perhaps. But now my question then is, what is the ruling party then going to do to preserve the language of the Kru and the Kwe? Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. All right, Mr. Shushu.
Thank you very much. That's an important question. Currently, what we are doing, not only for the Kru and the Kwe languages, but all other indigenous languages, including the Nama language and other San languages. We are currently implementing a program to introduce, we have actually started introducing Nama language in our schools. We are currently also looking at, now that has been introduced, in fact, from the 1990s, is being reintroduced in our schools in the province. And part of the programs that we'll be putting in place here is that the ACD for the Kru and the Kwe are actually taught in their languages, and there are translators who translate into English and Afrikaans. There's also a program in place to develop learning material for the Kru and the Kwe languages and Nama language, as well as other San community languages. And I think that's an important question as part of creating, developing African languages, but also to deal with extinction of the indigenous languages in our country, and in particular in our province.
All right.
So the ANC government is addressing that question.
We're going to
Thank you
take a
very much.
break. When we come back, we'll take more questions from the floor, and of course, pose some of these questions to some of the other panelists as well, especially on the question of indigenous languages, on the question of disputes around who owns which land where. We'll try and bring in some of the other panelists on that as well. But for now, back to Studio 11.